Debating is a powerful means of encouraging critical thinking, personal experience, and tolerance for the opinion of others. In Sano Sansar Initiative, we believe debate as an educational tool valuable in addressing the issues of national and global interest and how our people should deal with it. The process of debating is dynamic, fluid, and changing. Every day brings new ideas and arguments. Feeling the lack of debating culture here in Nepal, Kathmandu Debates is an initiation of children and youth to provide a platform where high school students can come together, share their ideas, opinions, to task simplistic public dialogues and foment a kind of global critical issues. With this idea in mind, we have chosen Karl Popper Debating Format for the Kathmandu Debates 2013. Debate in this context is the best way how each of us can come together and share what we have to say. I would like to thank everyone involved in Kathmandu Debates 2013 and supporting us to reorient the way we discuss.
A hearty welcome to each one of you present here today. Today is the grand finale of the Kathmandu Debates, and St. Xavier's School along with NASA will be debating today. Now, we would like to introduce you to the Karl Popper Debating Format. To many of us, this is just a very new name, and we really don't have much idea about it. So before we move towards the debate competition, it's obvious that we need to have a little bit of knowledge about this. I would now like to welcome Ms. Elipha Pradhananga to enlighten us about this.
Hello to everyone. We'll be having the debate today in the Karl Popper debate format. Actually, the entire tournament was in the Karl Popper debate format. For many, this might be a new thing. There are many formats to debate in. There's British Parliamentary, there's World Debate format, and Karl Popper is just another format. We can have debates in any of these formats, but we chose to do it with the Karl Popper debate format because it is a format that's popular for the high school students, and as you guys are aware that we're doing this with the high school students, which is why we chose this format. During the debate, it might be new to you, so I'll just explain the process just a little bit. We have the team affirmative and the side negative. We have 3 speakers on each side. The first affirmative will get to speak for 6 minutes. The first negative gets to speak for 6 minutes. After which, after the first and second speaker speak, there is a 3-minute cross-examination. The second and third speakers of both sides get 5 minutes each for their speech. There is this thing called cross-examination, which could be new to a lot of people here. Cross-examination basically is like the speaker will come and speak here, and there will be a few points that are unclear, and there are other points that the opposing side might want to clarify. So cross-examination is just one way of clarifying what happened in the speech before. So that'll be about it for the Karl Popper debate format. So thank you.
Thank you very much for sharing some information about this new format.
Now we move towards the most awaited event, the grand finale of Kathmandu Debates. I would like to welcome the teams that will be participating in today's debate from NASA and St. Xavier's on stage.
I would like to start the debate and welcome the affirmative first speaker to open the debate.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm representing St. Xavier's College, and today I'm here to defend the motion the House believes that the state should prioritize foreign investment to labor export as major economic strategy. When we think of labor export, we hear the cries of 12 men who were slaughtered ruthlessly in Iraq in 2004. When we think of labor export, we picturize the sufferings, the pain, the torture Nepali men and women are compelled to endure in unimaginable environment. We must think about the youths who are catapulted into oil mines and deserts, in the Middle East. We hear the cries of children whose parents have flown abroad. We strictly believe that laborers are not commodities and they should not be treated like one. Closely analyzing the loss of skillful manpower, up to 700 people per day, exploitation of migration workers, low wages, and the obstruction in development of the country, the House believes that foreign investment is a better solution as it acquires skills, technologies, organization and managing expertise which are most needed for a sustainable and long-term economic progress. Now, so how does foreign investment work? Foreign investment comes in several forms. The three forms are portfolio investment, foreign loans, and foreign direct investment, FDI for short. FDI is the most useful in industries and services. There is a strong relationship between foreign investment and economic growth. Larger inflows of foreign investments are needed for the country to achieve a sustainable high trajectory of economic growth. There are several irrefutable reasons for this. For an economy to grow by 7 to 8% a year, there is a need to invest around 35 to 40% of GDP. Now, let me state our first argument. Prioritizing FDI, foreign direct investment, increases efficiency in local industries, company, and labor, and acts as an effective voice in the management of expertise. Our second argument is prioritizing foreign investment aids the government to provide opportunities for the youth to stay back in their own country. And our third argument is prioritizing foreign investment leads to a more sustainable economic progress with less violation of human rights. Let me repeat it again, with less violation of human rights. Now, let me explain our first argument, which said prioritizing FDI increases efficiency in local industries, company, and labor, and acts as an effective voice in the management of enterprise. The significance of FDI is that such investments are risk-free to the country and bring with it advantages of advanced technology, management practices, and assured market. In due course, there is a technology transfer as the local workforce gains knowledge of the manufacturing processes and the management practices. The value added in the industries is a contribution to a GDP and foreign exchange earnings. Therefore, FDI contributes to the foreign exchange earnings, employment creation, and increases in income, especially of skilled and semi-skilled workers. That's why we believe that foreign investment should be prioritized, because that can be a major economic strategy. My second argument was prioritizing foreign investment aids the government to provide opportunities for the youth to stay back in their own country. Youths are the people of the nation. They are the ones responsible for the development of the nation. They do not want to go abroad. They do not want to invest their sweat, their skill in the development of a foreign nation. They obviously want to work here. And when the government introduces policies to attract foreign investment, what will happen is people, for instance, the engineers or communication engineers, IT engineers, their dream job might be working in NCEL, because NCEL is a foreign investment. And we can see how much NCEL has brought a drastic change in the communication. Now, I would like to again strongly say that our country, Nepal, in this state should prioritize foreign investment, and our House believes that the state should prioritize foreign investment to labor export as a major economic strategy in order to make our nation a developed nation with a very strong economy. It is very necessary to prioritize foreign investment. Thank you very much.
Okay. First affirmative cross-examination.
Nepal. Our country, Nepal, is a resource-rich country, and our Nepalese workers, they are known for their commitment, their responsible nature, their loyalty. That's why foreign investors will be very much attracted to invest in a country like Nepal.
How can you guarantee the security over here in Nepal? Because the foreign investors seek for security to invest anywhere. So how can you guarantee about the security here in Nepal?
Our country, Nepal, has concluded its peace process. It's in the formation of building a very peaceful nation. So security will be guaranteed over time.
So what do you think about the political instability?
Political instability is a problem which every single Nepalese is working to overcome.
Do you think there are only demerits of labor export?
Yes, I think there are more demerits to labor export than foreign investment.
Can you please justify it?
Can you justify your question?
I'm asking how can you be sure that there are only demerits of labor export rather than merits?
Okay, every coin has two sides. There cannot just be demerits. There cannot just be only demerits. Of course there will be merits, but the thing is, FDI, foreign direct investment, outweighs the merit than the labor export. That's the reason we're talking about priority. We're not talking about picking a side and throwing the other side, totally ignoring it. We're talking about prioritizing that the need of time is foreign direct investment.
Okay, and don't you think the foreign investment discourages local industries over here in Nepal?
Foreign direct investment has different policies. Our country, Nepal, it does not allow a foreign investor to invest in a completely new industry. What it does is, suppose there was a pre-existing industry, automobile, we all know about that, and that was turned into Encel. So our local industry, what happens is, due to foreign direct investment, there will be competition in the market, and a competitive market ensures efficiency and economic growth.
And what do you think about the unhealthy competitions in the market?
I'm not talking about unhealthy competition. I'm talking about fair competition who work for efficient economics.
How can you ensure there will be fair competition? How can you ensure?
We're not talking about fair competition here. We're talking about foreign direct investment, investing in the country.
Negative. Represent time.
Good afternoon. I'm the first speaker from the negative team and I'm representing National College. Before going to the point, let me make it clear about our limitations. As our house strongly believes that states should not prioritize foreign investment to labor export as a major economic policy. By this step, we strongly follow the territory of Nepal. Our opponent friends said that the foreign investment increases efficiency in local industries, company and labor. But as we are talking about Nepal, and it is a relevant topic of our country, but let me tell you that there is no condition in Nepal to get investment from any foreign investor because of many barriers. So what is the use of prioritizing? That aspect which has very less possibility in Nepal. And in Nepal, foreign investment has not been able to overcome the trade deficit which the remittance which we get from the labor export and the remittance which we get from the labor export, it has been able to fulfill the trade deficit which the foreign investment has not been able to. So, as it is a fact that due to emergence of new technology, world has become a global village, and there is no clear distinction between the countries. At the time, the entire country is running with the help of remittance, and our opponents are arguing against the labor force, and that is not appropriate. In today's context, when politics of Nepal is in transitional period, youth are not getting opportunity in Nepal, and labor export is the best alternative. So we are proud to propose our policy according to which states should prioritize labor export to foreign investment as a major economic policy. And to support our claim, we have three arguments, and I'd like to state them out. And our first argument is that states should prioritize labor export than the foreign investment because remittance from the labor migrants is the backbone of Nepalese economy. And our second argument is that it is the only alternative left that will work in Nepal. And our third argument is that foreign investment gives rise to crisis in political economic situation of the host country. And talking about our first argument, that
Nepal, as already said. And also the remittance to GDP ratio increased from 10.3% in 2001 to 17.4% in 2007, according to a data published by Nepal Rashtriya Bank. So it is clear that remittance has been the backbone of our country, and it should be prioritized so that our country can stay forward in the process of development. And our second argument is that states should prioritize labor export because it is only alternative left that will work in Nepal. As we know that Nepal is a country sandwiched between two large economies, China and India, and here the political instability is prevailing so much that in every 6 months the government changes and the policy which it brings also alters accordingly. So there is no any stable, strong and solid economic policy that can attract foreign investment in Nepal. And now we can see that many foreign investors have already denied to invest. Like Elipha, Asian Development Bank, it said that it won't invest in Nepal until 2015-18. So as Nepal is also a landlocked country, the transit cost is so high that investors, they argue that the poor infrastructure of Nepal is not allowing them to get profit. And we know that investment is done with two motive, that is to get profit, and there should be also security in the country. But in Nepal, we are not able to provide security due to political conflicts, instability. Foreign investors are not investing because we have inefficient manpower. And in this situation, when foreign investors themselves are taking their hands out, labor export is the best alternative, and this has been working in Nepal, as 23% of Nepal's GDP is from remittance, which is sent by the labor which are working in the other countries. And our third and the last argument is that states should prioritize labor export than the foreign investment, because foreign investment gives rise to cashless and political economic situation of the host country. We are here talking about the disadvantage of foreign investment, as it directly signifies that labor export is more consistent. When a foreign investor invests in recipient country, the local enterprises give up totally. Because, for example, if there is a local enterprise in our country, the next company is established by a foreign investor, it results that the local enterprises give up totally, because the foreign investment is done with a large budget, and also they sell their product in cheaper price, and the self-employment dismisses totally. Not only that, it increases the dependency also. Hence labor export is the most better concept in today's context. Hence, realizing the present need of the time, labor export is the best alternative to develop our economy, because too many people over here are still unemployed. There is no opportunity in there, and that is resulting that 36% of people are still below the poverty line. And in this situation, the labor should be given chance. They should be given an opportunity to go to other countries and to to save their family and to surround their family. And for that reason, we believe that the labor exports should be prioritized than the foreign investment. Thank you so much.
The first question is, don't you agree that our country has potentials?
Yeah, I agree that country it has potential.
Okay. How long do you think can remittance sustain the country's economy?
It can sustain the economy because the remittance which the labor they are sending to our country, it can be utilized to know our potential. We have potential in water resources and all those things, and we can utilize that money
If you think it's going to sustain the economy for a long time, what if the policy between two countries, suppose Nepal and a Gulf country, breaks down? What about the migrant workers there?
It should be thought firstly only, because government should make a policy. It should make a contract before sending the labor to other countries, so that there will not arise any other problem at future.
The fact you mentioned that Nepal is between China and India, don't you think it's the next big market because these countries are the fastest growing economies?
Can you elaborate?
You said Nepal is between China and India.
Yeah.
So there is a trade deficit between Nepal and other countries. Don't you think China and India are the next big markets?
Yeah, they are the big markets, but in Nepal, we have potential, and if the foreign investor then it is less efficient because they don't want to invest in Nepal because they argue that we have the militant workers and the workers, they are not efficient in Nepal, so they don't want to invest in Nepal for that reason.
Don't you think remittance is fluctuating and unpredictable?
Yeah, remittance may be fluctuating,
Okay,
but it depends upon that. But it depends upon the policy which the country had
You
signed.
talked about security.
Yeah.
Which foreign investor has been a victim of security? You talked about foreign investors being victims of Nepalese people. Can you give any examples of foreign investors who have been a victim of this from the start of 1996?
Okay, there are many examples. Like KFC is can take an example. It was also invested from the foreign countries, and now it has not been able to meet the expectation of the people because we can see the example. There are many examples like Koshi Dam also. It was invested by India.
Is that a threat?
Okay. One of the development works, investment is done with a profit motive, and they are just concerned about making the profit, and profit is made with many alternatives. Like they are not concerned about the
Okay, so basically you are not worried and you don't care about the people who are being tortured in foreign countries.
Yeah, they are being tortured in foreign country, but it is negligible looking at the people who are getting.
Okay, so are you trying to say that?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sagar, and I'm here to further elaborate for the motion. Maybe remittance is the backbone of our country at present, but this bone is not made up of calcium. I guarantee that this bone is made up of mud, because remittance, we are talking about an economic strategy. An economic strategy is not like the amount of money you expect from your parents when you put tika during the Dasai time. Remittance is the money which can be compared to the money you get in the form of blessings from your parents during Dasai. My opponent says it is the only alternative. Labor export is the only alternative left for as an economic strategy. But they have already agreed to our point when the question was asked that has Nepal got the prospects of foreign investment? Now coming to our arguments, I would like to portray first the condition of the country before 2004. Only rich people had access to SIM cards because there was only one company in the field of telecommunications, that is NTC. After 2004, Mero Mobile was initiated. Then, in March 2010, Consul, which is a form of foreign direct investment, bought the shares of the company, and they jointly started the service of telecommunication in our country. And what did it lead to? 7 million mobile users in the country. Today, 75 out of 75 districts are connected with telecommunication, which during the period of NTC, which in the period of NTC was considered to be just a dream. What did the foreign investors look at? They took a mediocre company, that's Mero Mobile. They brought in new technology that benefited the country. It brought healthy competition between NTC and SIL. They tried to make their provisions comparable. So who were benefited? The public. They brought an experience. This experience was learned from it. This experience was shared throughout the country. They brought, most importantly, enough capital in the country. Now I would like to give an evidence that has been given by the source of the Ministry of Finance of our country. There is no capital in our banking system to build large-scale infrastructure projects such as hydropower, toll roads, and large mines. The total deposit in Standard Chartered Bank is around 45 Arab. To build a 100 megawatt project, it costs around 25 to 30 Arab. To build all large-scale projects, we need foreign lenders, as more than 70% of the project are financed through debts. Now, what happens to the money that comes in the form of remittance? 79% is spent in household purposes. That is, feeding the kids, feeding oneself. Then 7% of the remittance is spent in paying back the loans that they took to go abroad. 5% is spent on property. 4% is spent on the education. Now, I would like to ask the opposition, where is development? If all the money is spent in paying back loans and feeding oneself, feeding the family, when will our country develop? Will Nepal be only learned? Will Nepal be only be seen as a country that has enough to fill its stomach? Will it never rise as a world power like many other developing countries are by accepting foreign direct investment? This example of NTC and ANSEL is my evidence to prove my first point that foreign development, foreign investment increases the efficiency of labours. My second point is prioritizing FDI aids the government to provide better opportunities for youths to stay back in their own country. According to the source of Institute of Medicine, 27 batches. Out of 27 batches of Institute of Medicine, 200 doctors are currently green card holders in USA and they are staying in New York alone. What did they look for? They look for better opportunities, which the Nepali government could not provide. Now, when we accept foreign direct investment, what happens is all the medical colleges, all the things that they need, the opportunities are created inside the country itself, which helps the skilled manpower of the country to remain back in the country, and this will lead to a sustainable development that will create a better Nepal.
Solution to increase foreign investment in Nepal, because now Nepal isn't getting the foreign investment from the foreign countries. Can you give solution?
The best solution is prioritizing.
Can you just elaborate?
Prioritizing means creating policies that are favorable for the foreign investors to invest in our country.
What about the disadvantages of privatization? Like you said about NSEL, which is established with foreign investment, is it really providing facilities? What about the reality that it has been dominating all other corporations like NBCs?
There is, can you repeat your question?
Okay, you said about NSEL, which is established with foreign investment. What about the reality that it has been dominating all other corporations like NTC?
As I already mentioned, it has not been dominating. It has created a healthy competition in the country that has resulted NTC to uplift its standard.
It hasn't created healthy competition. Instead, it has created much unhealthier competition because it has made us to pay more taxes. Okay, next question is, don't you think that the remittance is increasing the per capita income, as you yourself said that 7% of it is used in household purposes?
Eating is not, spending it on only food does not assure the economic development of a country.
But instead, in Nepal, 46% of people there is still below the poverty line, and that is still struggling to fill up their stomach. And in this situation, the remittance has been very effective. Don't you think that?
I agree to your point. But FDI would create even a better environment in the country.
Nepal, already various foreign investors, they are denied to invest in Nepal because there are many barriers.
That's why we need to prioritize.
Nepal is a landlocked country, and it is a transit cost. It is more expensive. So it has already many investors. They have already denied to invest in Nepal. So it doesn't create any solution. So do you think that the foreign investment are only concerned about profit?
They are not only concerned about profit.
Because investment is done with the profit motive. Don't you think that?
They have collaborated with a private company inside the country. So the private company looks for social service, the foreign investors look for profit, and they go hand in hand together to create a better environment. Ultimately, who profits?
How can you guarantee that they are going hand in hand? How can you guarantee that? Because there are many foreign investors, they are just...
Because if there is disagreement between the two sides of the investors, the company cannot run.
So for that reason, many companies which are run by the foreign investment, they are already being closed in Nepal. For that reason, so there is no any efficiency in Nepal regarding foreign investment because okay, that's all.
Being a small country, sandwiched between the two bigger or larger economies, China and India, Nepal will face a chronic situation if there is a prioritization of foreign investment. In the country like Nepal, where there is political instability and when our country is in transition state, it is not wise to prioritize the foreign investment. It just increases the economic and political chaosness in our country. Let me first give an example of Saptakoshi Bridge. It was constructed by India as a foreign investment with a good prospect. But due to the ineffective bureaucracy of Nepal, it turned upside down. It is a matter of shame that we don't have even a single key of the gates of the dam of Saptakoshi Bridge, due to which we are suffering drought in winter and flood in summer. This is just a moral example of the failure of the foreign investment in Nepal. Same things happen in Tanakpur. Unfortunately, now it is not inside the boundary of Nepal. Then why foreign investment? Why? First of all, let me give a report done by the Nepal government of Nepal economic survey. It has stated a report. I will have to say it down. In fiscal year 1995-1996, 0.39 billion rupee was introduced in Nepal as FDI, whereas 4.28 was introduced as remittance. In 1998-1999, 0.58 billion US dollar was introduced as FDI, whereas 10.31 billion dollar was introduced as remittance. And in 2004-5 only 0.14 FDI was introduced in Nepal, but 65.42 billion US dollar was introduced as remittance. Now, please tell me which is more and which is calcium. Our government has done BIPA treaty and MEGA treaty which favors foreign investment. Then tell me, where is the new foreign investment in our country? Where? Why is the opposing team denying the point that those foreign investors don't feel secure in our country? Because we can't provide security. Moving on, our team proposed 3 arguments. They were: first, remittance from the labor migration is the backbone of the Nepalese contest in the Nepalese economy. We all know that near about 24% of the Nepalese budget is dependent on remittance. Okay, my opposing team said that most of the amount of the remittance is used to feed and for education, for health. Then doesn't it affect the per capita and GDP of the country? But in our third argument, we said that foreign investment gives rise to chaosness in political and economic situation of the host country. The first effect of the foreign investment is that it discourages local industries like small and cottage industries. The foreign investor uses better technology and have large budget and can do mass production, which local cannot do. This leads to the closing down of local enterprises. This means the economy of our country is handed over. The key of the economy of our country is handed over to the foreign investor. And do we want that? Do we Nepalese want to hand our key of economy to foreigner? We have been facing lots of problems in this case. Foreign investor, this increases, and the most important thing is that foreign investment increases foreign intervention. Near about 40% of the FDI, is done by India, and we are suffering the problems caused by India. So I am proud to oppose the motion and say that our governments should not prioritize foreign investment and should prioritize labor migration because it has more benefits. Thank you.
Committee, next time.
Do you think Nepalese are zombies to only work for other countries?
No, I don't think so.
don't you think it's time to fix all those incomplete projects that FDI began some years ago?
Then please tell me, then why were those projects were closed down? Why were those projects closed down?
Don't you think it's time to fix all those incomplete projects? Because those incomplete projects will be a very much beneficiary factor for our economy. Don't you think it's time to fix it by prioritizing FDI?
Yes, it's true that it should be
yes,
done.
We have to fix it, right? Okay.
Fixed,
you talk about $65 million and that's why remittance is not brought. Did it lead to any increase in economy? Did it lead to any investment?
Yes, it increases investment in the country. According to the Nepal Rashtra Bank, the remittance of GDP, the ratio of remittance to GDP increased from 10.3% in 2001 to 17.4% in present. Then
I'm talking about the investment the remittance was used for, not consumption.
Then don't you have?
Okay, thank you. Do you think it's fair for the state to enjoy a little bit of remittance at the cost of lives of people, their prestige, where people are dying there? So do you think it's enjoyable?
Then is it good to swim in the flood and to drive with drought? Is it good?
To enjoy a little bit of remittance at the cost of the
For a
lives
country like us, it is good because we need to have a patriotism. In the country,
you believe that people should die in the Middle East in the oil mines just because they get a little bit of remittance back in the country?
Then do you mean to say that we should?
Do you
mean to say that our country should be intervened by other countries? We should be controlled by other countries? Our
Aren't
economy is
humanitarian
given to other
enough
countries.
to think of the labor workers, the pain they have to go through?
Then no.
So why are you denying the terrible condition of the laborers in the Middle East?
Then why are you denying the terrible condition that is on in Thapathali? Why? So we are denying its economic progress because 40% of the FDI is done by India. That means 40% is the 40% of the international intervention is done by India.
Okay, what do you think economic strategy is?
Pardon me?
What do you think economic strategy is? Like our topic says, economic strategy.
Economic strategy should be done in such a way that it
does not violate
It does not violate the patriotism. And
do you think sending people away is increasing patriotism of people?
Then do you think?
You're not supposed to ask me.
Okay.
Yeah. Why are you denying the terrible condition of the laborers?
Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I, Rajesh Hamal, am here to speak for the motion. First of all, I feel really sorry for the American president of 1945 for his UN human rights have been violated and ignored by our competitors. The second thing that I'd like to question is, you talked about Saptakoshi. That's the reason we must prioritize, because all these things that foreign investors have made into, we must prioritize and make them succeed rather than leaving it to a failure. And you said we are drowning in Saptakoshi. Can you tell me how many people actually died? Because if you look at the evidences of foreign employment, every day 5 migrant workers come dead in the coffins of Etihad Airways. Talking about Nepal does not have any prospects for foreign investment. Well, I'll give you some prospects given by Nepal Trade Integration Strategy 2010. There are 19 areas where Nepal is much better than any other countries in Southeast Asia, which are not landlocked countries as well. So Nepal being a landlocked country is not the only drawback. Landlocked country is not the drawback. And among those 19 areas, cardamom, ginger, tourism and hydroelectricity are the 4 major sources. You talked about backbone. Remittance is the backbone of the country, but skillful manpower is the heart of the country. And if we are sending all the skillful manpower out, who will stay in the country and who will work in the country? Because we cannot develop a country by staying outside. We have to be in the country to develop. The first argument that we said was prioritizing FDI increases efficiency in local industries, company and labor, and acts as an effective voice in the management of enterprise. We gave an example about Ansel and NTC, where a group of investors approached Mero Mobile and totally transformed into profit from loss. Nepal's phone service is very much cheap compared to the other countries in the world. Moreover, Ansel, which was in foreign investment, also invested in sports, that is the Ansel Football Cup, due to which the football of Nepal has reached a new milestone. Talking about the projects, our competitive said that no projects have been implemented in our country. Here's the fact: by 2010, 1,986 projects have been invested. That is $143,847 million have been invested in our country. The fact is given by Department of Industry. And about investment in the country, the maximum is manufacturing, 58 million, electricity and water, 38 million, hotel resort, 21 million, industries, 18 million, and construction, 66 million have already been funded and foreign invested. So this house believes that we must prioritize foreign investment. The second argument was prioritizing FDI aids the government to provide opportunity for youths to stay back in their own country. Foreign investment can be done in many infrastructures of the country, including education, sport, health, and industries. Talking about sport, if a foreign country, that is India, Pakistan, or Bangladesh, come and invest in cricket in Nepal, Nepal is going to be a developed country in the field of cricket. All of you might know, when Mahendra Singh Dhoni came and gave a speech or gave a training for 2 days, Nepal has been doing exceptionally well in the field of cricket. Graham Roberts, he turned the fate of football into a different football, and now Nepal is competing in the competitive level. If we talk about health, a cancer hospital is going to be established with foreign investment in our country. So the people who are ill, the people who have to go abroad to get medicines and be cured, can stay back in their own country. The third argument that we gave was prioritizing FDI leads to more sustainable economic progress with less violation of human rights. Sending away person does not give job security, no salary equality and permanency, no health insurance. And the main and most important thing is, my competitive said, 38% is people are poor. So how can the 38% people go abroad when the charge to go abroad is just more than 10 lakhs rupees? Thank you so much.
Labor export is the only backbone of Nepal's economy. And secondly, it is the only alternative left that will work in Nepal. And thirdly, foreign investment gives rise to power space in economic and political situation of the host country. Based upon these arguments, our team has given logics that is backed by reason and evidences. During the entire debate, we told you about the ever-growing economic challenges in case of Nepal. We discussed about the prioritization of labor export, and now it is clear that the merits of labor export outweighs the merits of foreign investment as the major economic strategy in case of Nepal. On the contrary, the team affirmative presented their arguments like foreign investment results in efficiency, that creates opportunities, and it is an opportunity to stay back. Well, if you really think so, then please go back to the same issue and think which of the foreign investors will invest in a country like ours, where there is no guarantee of profit as well as security, where there is instability everywhere, where politicized bureaucracy prevails, and which geographically is a landlocked country, where there is poor infrastructure and where there is militant manpower. Let us please focus on the concrete reality rather than a distant possibility. Even if the foreign investment supports sustainability, what we have to focus now is what is relevant in today's context of Nepal. You talked about filling the stomach. Yes, if we don't prioritize labor export now, in today's context, if we discourage the labor export, then the time will come when we will roam over here and there for the sake of our hungry stomachs because there is no way out. So, what is the provision for the depressed, oppressed, and suppressed poor people crying with hungry stomachs? What is the provision for them? What about the human rights of them? Aren't the poor people humans? You talked about the human rights, and we are here relating with the poor people. Aren't the poor people humans? So here comes country rather than other countries. 0.75 paisa per call in India and 2 rupee per call in per minute in Nepal. Please tell me, which is cheaper one? We talked about human rights, but let me remind you that right to labor is also a human right. Freedom comes with responsibility, but no one is responsible for the economic downfall we are noticing in case of Nepal in today's context. So in today's situation, labor export can be the major economical strategy as the only alternative left. Hence, a firm, stable, legitimate, strong and stable government with a uniform economic policy must reform, and it must focus on the labor export rather than the foreign investment, because it will surely act as an antibiotic for the chronic economic status of our country. And hence, finally, from this podium, we urge all the youths and everyone to unite together and fight for the sake of our country's economy, saving our country from the economic downfall. And our team is pretty sure that prioritizing labor export in today's context of Nepal will definitely lead toward the upliftment of Nepal's economic condition, for sure. Thank you so much.
That was a very interesting debate to witness. Best of luck to both the teams. The results are being tabulated.
To maintain the formality of match, we have to announce a winner and a runner-up. And the winner is... The winner is St. James College. I would like to welcome the leaders of St. James College in front to receive the cups, medals, and certificates. Prayers Osi and Anish. Congratulations. So now we will be handovering the trophies and medals as well as certificates and cups to the team. I would like to also welcome the team coach of the team which we have, Ms. Elipha at the hall. Over the stage. Congratulations once again. So I think a lot of opportunities are on the way for you. Besides the cups, trophies, medals and certificates. Similarly, Rashtra. Congratulations. So can we have a photograph of all the dignitaries and the winners over here? Sagar, can we have a photograph? This is close. I would like to welcome other guests on the stage as well, Mr. Abbas Kesi, our chief guest, Keith Bench, similarly the principal from NASA International College as well. Okay, smile please. Thank you very much. So now it's time for welcoming our runner-ups on the stage, and with no delay I would like to welcome the team NASA on the stage. Our runner-up players, Pratikya, Sanju and Suman. Along with the team coach, Sudeep Gimere, on the stage please. Congratulations team NASA as well. You guys did a very good job. So all the best for your future as well. Can we have other guests on the stage, please? Mr. Rajesh Hamal and Sagar sir on the stage. So, get ready for the photograph.